morning to our beloved Madam Rosia and all audience. Before I start with my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Yosiki and my metric number is 271399. I'm from Group 4 and our topic is Dependency Theory. Now, I will move to my presentation part. That is the factor that contribute to the success of formerly known poor developing state of Asian tigers to attain the state of advanced economy. First, let me define that. What is Asian tiger? Is there a kind of tigers? No. Asian tigers, also known as 4 Asian dragons. They are Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea. The story of Asian tigers' transformation begins after the Second World War. Once there, capital gross domestic product was comparable to the poorest country in Asia and Africa. But since 1960, they have constantly maintained high levels of economic growth, and this would pay off. By 21st century, 4 tigers had developed into advanced and high-income economy specializing in area of competitive advantage. For instance, Singapore and Hong Kong are prominent worldwide financial centers, whereas Taiwan and South Korea become essential hubs for the global manufacturing of electronic components and automobiles. The 4 tigers are now considered among the world's wealthiest nations and also as a developed nations. However, 4 tigers become a role model for many underdeveloped and developing countries, especially the tiger club economy of Southeast Asia. Start with first tiger, which is Taiwan. I will explain a little bit background of Taiwan before explaining factors that contribute to the success of Taiwan. In the late 1940 and early 1950, a lot of economists regarded Taiwan economic situation with considerable pessimism due to Taiwan's lack of economic resources, discredited government, and a shortage of capital. Fortunately, that prediction did not turn out to be true. Economy of Taiwan grew beginning the mid of 1960, and it was so spectacular that it acquired the appellation economy miracle. Taiwan's economy boom of the 1960s was preceded by land reform, which generated a marked growth in the agriculture sector. After that, Taiwan moved to capital-intensive and knowledge-based industry in the 1980s. Today, Taiwan population is 23.7 million and with a gross domestic product of $586 billion. Taiwan also has a human development index score that is comparable to France and gross domestic products per capita levels similar to Germany. The first factor that contributes to the success of Taiwan is focus on agriculture. Taiwan has long been known for its productive agriculture based on its rich volcanic soil, plentiful rainfall, and good climate. In fact, those conditions are what attracted early Chinese migrants. During the Japanese colonial, Taiwan exported large quantity rice and sugar to Japan. In the early post of Second World War years, agriculture of Taiwan flourished, resulting double cropping of rice and some other crops. Fertilization and irrigation enhanced yields considerably, as did the introduction of hybrid and other improved seed stock. Besides, under Qing dynasty governance of the island, tea trade began and it continued to grow. Local farmers also started growing rice and sugarcane. However, tea has a good local market and is also an important export product of Taiwan. The second factor to rise the Taiwan economy is the government economic strategy. In the 1960s, Taiwan was the world's primary exporter of consumers' goods, shoes, toys, and umbrella due to a lot of cheap labor force. To augment the export-oriented development strategy, the government enacted the Statute for the Encouragement of Investment in 1960. This strategy is to encourage business to engage in international trade by providing tax incentives. Moreover, Taiwan has established several export processing zones since 1966, which provided investors with infrastructure, offer tax incentives, and streamline the administrative process for business operation. Essentially, international trade coupled with light industry was a growth engine for Taiwan economy in the 1960s. Taiwan also started nurturing heavy industry, particularly petrochemicals and steel, in 1970. The government refocused its industry policy on science and technology development after recognizing the waning momentum of the labor-intensive and export-oriented model. However, officials initiated two important programs, which is Non-Profit Industrial Technology Research Institute was founded in 1973 to conduct applied research and nurture company by providing technical service and transferring its research. Another one is Hsinchu Science Park was established in 1980 to encourage the nascent development of high-tech industry. These two programs were attracted overseas talent of Taiwan and spawned a number of giant technology firms such as United Microelectronic Corp and Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. Now, I will move to second tiger, which is Hong Kong first. Before Hong Kong categorized as one Asian tiger, it always depends on imports for virtually all its requirements, including food, capital foods, other consumer goods, food, and raw materials. This is because Hong Kong has limited resources. In order to attract foreign investment and financial transactions, the laissez-faire policy of the British colonial government and the market economy provided flexibility for the further industrialization and the freedom and incentive from the late 1960s. Hong Kong's developed not only in shipping and manufacturing trade, it also playing roles as a regional financial center and as an agent in China's pursuit of modernization. As we know, Hong Kong also has the greatest free trade policy amongst the four Asian tigers due to it has strong culture of civil law, a great infrastructure, and strong finance and marketing sectors. Today, the population of Hong Kong is 7.4 million and with a gross domestic product of $372 billion in 2019. The first factor that Hong Kong contributes is openness to the international trade. Free trade policy of Hong Kong has made the territory one of the great centers of trade due to Hong Kong imposes no quotas and changes no custom duties. There is no tariff on imports except for perfumes, alcoholic beverages, motor vehicles, and tobacco. Hong Kong not only doing trade with other regions of China, it also having this trade with Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore as a major suppliers. In 2012, Hong Kong ranked third in the world after the United States and China in terms of inflow of foreign direct investment, and ranked fourth after United States, Japan, and China in terms of outflow. This is because Hong Kong no restriction on entry or repatriation of capital either, nor on the conversion and transfer of profits and dividend from direct investment. However, the free flow of capitals has helped Hong Kong to become the first order of international financial center. The Global Financial Center Index highlighted Hong Kong is also most competitive financial center in Asia and the third most competitive in world, behind only London and New York. The next factor is focusing on manufacturing that lead to rest of Hong Kong economy. Manufacturing is one of the most important sectors of Hong Kong economy. The economy of Hong Kong truly began to take off in the 1950s. However, the rapid development of manufacturing in that year was made possible by immigrant Chinese industrialists. They are mainly from Shanghai and also brought with them technology and capital. In the result, Hong Kong was the export center of manufactured products in East Asia in the 1960s. Because of immigrant Chinese industrialists, the foreign investment soon began to flow into that of huge supply of cheap labor and relatively cheap raw materials available in the surrounding region. However, Most industry has been confined to urban areas, especially in the densely populated district of Kowloon. The Hong Kong Industrial Estate Corporation was established in 1977 to develop and manage industrial estate that would accommodate high technology industry.